Happy Monday, happy Monday. Good to see you. Beautiful people. So I got, first of all, thank you, Anthony Moreland, this morning. And I want to kick it off. This is not the word, but I want to kick it off this morning. I was at a great friend of mine. Actually, he was my quarterback in high school when I was the head football coach. Yesterday, we celebrated his father's life in my community, and great man. And Anthony sent me a quote this morning that really reminded me. He got up and shared just a tribute to his father's life. And as I looked at it through the eyes of a child, right, with him giving a tribute to his father's life, I thought about my kids. And I thought, and then Anthony sends this quote: our children are like mirrors that reflect our attitude in life. And as he got up and celebrated and tributed his dad's life, it was all about his dad's attitude and how it really affected him. And I thought, man, that's a great quote, Anthony. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to switch gears from good attitude to the word anger. Anger. Now, I know no one in this community has ever been angry. Okay, I know you've never had any anger built up inside of you. But it's one of those words that you go, have I really looked at the word? How many of you's really looked at the word anger? Or do you just know when you're angry? So here's the thing. The definition says a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. I've said for years when I was a coach, I would tell people, listen, don't mistake my passion for me being angry, okay? Sometimes I get on a roll and I get passionate and I might come across as being a little angry, right? And I've always laughed about that with my players and people I'm around. But truly, if you think of the word anger, it's an emotion characterized by antagonism towards someone or something you feel has deliberately done you wrong, okay? So that's one thing. Like there's a bad side to anger. But let me tell you, there's also a good side. Anger can be a good thing. It can give you a way to express negative feelings, for example, or motivate you to find solutions to problems. Sometimes when you get a little angry, it causes you to take action. How many of you's done that before? Man, your boss comes in or somebody, your mentor comes in and they challenge you and it makes you mad, like you're ticked. You want to just, but soon as they leave and you've had a little time, you go right to work and you probably are more productive, more zoned in, more focused, and you end up like positives come away from being angry or having anger. But let me share something else with you. Two things. The state of fear can bring about angry emotions in people. I think we're living in a time today where we're seeing fear. We don't know where the world's headed. A lot of things are happening. I look back on the Great Depression. I'm not going to go into that, but man, that was a time in our world where there was, in the 20s, if you go back and look at the history, like fear caused people to set up angry emotions inside of them. They just had to get it out, A lot of times it's frustration builds up anger. Okay? Think about that in your life. I've got an example. I'm just going to say real quick. Years ago, in business, I'm not going to get into it, but here's what I'll tell you. Frustration and fear caused me to become so angry that I turned into a person I really was not inside. Has that ever happened? You don't have to raise your hand, but think about it. Like, but if I really dove back, it was fear. Fear of loss, fear of losing my business, fear of, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And it caused frustration, which turned to anger. And I did some things that it's just out of my characteristic to do. So we got to be careful of letting fear turn to anger. Another thing that turns to anger sometimes is anxiety. How many of you felt anxiety before? Like, I remember that as my first head coaching job. Like, anxiety, what happens is if we're not careful, anxiety builds up. It creates frustration, which again creates anger. And you go, Brent, where are you going with that? Well, here's what I'm telling you. We're living a life that is going to create anger, okay? You're going to experience fear, and you're going to experience frustration, and you're going to experience anxiety in your life, which in turn is going to create anger from time to time. But let me tell you that if areas that will help when you experience this, 3 areas. When you start to feel frustrated, anxious, fearful, and in possibly anger, number 1, work on your mental game. I call it working on your dome. Get your things right in your dome, in between your ears. So if you ever feel like you're angry, just get into a book, get into an audio, get to your mentor, get that dome right inside, and that will help your anger. Okay, number 2, your spiritual game. There always has to be a higher power. There always has to be a higher power. When Coach Myra gets frustrated or she gets angry, I promise you, we're human, right? It's going to happen. There always has to be a higher power that you can turn to and you can give it up, okay? That's number 2. You got to have that higher power. Mine is the Lord. I pray, okay? I pray. Now, I'm not a scholar on the Bible by no means, but I'll tell you this. I know there's a higher power, and I turn it over to the Lord when I realize it's out of my control. I can't handle it. Okay? I need to ask for help. Number 3, you work on your physical game. You treat your body right. Like, you got to get out and walk. You got to get out and exercise. You got to put the right food in your body. Like, you got to get it. So working the 3 areas, you got to get your dome right. Got to get that mental game right. You got to get that spiritual game right. Turn it over to a higher power. And then the third thing, you got to get your body right. Those 3 things will guide you in the process of being able to help when anger occurs in your life, because it's going to. And remember this. Ambrose Bierce said it. I wrote it down. He said, speak when you're angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. I'm going to say it again. Speak when you're angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. I thought that was pretty profound. Coach, I'm going to turn it to you.
Okay, guys. Thanks, Brent. That was awesome. I'm going to move really quick today, so tune in tight and hang in there with me, okay? I'm going to give you some keys to controlling anger. And again, everything that Brent and I talk about, I promise you, we are talking to ourselves first and foremost. So, we can't be attached to our anger. And, in all of us, our egos want us to be right. But, we have to understand we really aren't our ideas. So, we can't be attached to that. So another thing, don't take things personally. When we take it personally, it's almost like we're saying it's all about me. It's never about us or me as an individual. So don't take things personally. And here's another thing that's tough. Learn when to let it go. Learn when to let your anger go. And why is that so hard for us to do? You know, I believe, again, it goes back to our egos. You know, we have to let go of needing things to go our way. This is huge. We've got to get better in that area. You know, and also, like Brent said, we've got to be aware of what's going on in our body. If y'all ever heard of I'm just plumb hangry, well, when I'm hungry and I'm angry at the same time, oh my God, I feel like I'm a dragon shooting fire out at somebody. So we got to know, you know, we got to know what's going on in our body when these emotions hit us. Are we overly tired? Are we hungry? Are we stressed out? You know, because I feel agitated about something, I might overreact and exaggerate. So we got to be more mindful of what's going on in our bodies when we are angry. You know, here's another thing, another point is learn how to say what is really going on. I know for myself, it always, at some point in my life, it's not that way now as I've gotten older, it was always hard for me to just admit what I had going on and say it out loud to somebody because I thought somebody would think I'm weak and I couldn't stand that perception. That's ego. I had to let that go. You know, there's no shame whatsoever in experiencing every single feeling and emotion that we have. There's no shame in that. You know, so here's another thing. How in the world do we talk to angry people? Let me ask you this, because I have done this. I've turned around and just blown somebody out and say, hey, you just need to calm down. And honestly, I may have used some choice words that I shouldn't have said. We can't say that. You know, everyone has a right to feel angry. So here's some cues you need to know about real quickly. You need to acknowledge their anger and don't take their anger personally. Recognize that every single time a person is angry, guess what, guys and gals? They're hurting. They're hurt. So don't feed into other people's anger. Don't try to stop someone from being angry because 9 times out of 10, it makes it worse. Anger always comes from a place of hurt in some way. Here's a suggestion I want to end on. Approach an angry person by saying, hey, you got a lot of anger going on right now. I don't really understand it. I just want to help you. I want to be here for you. And when we do that, that creates us a safe place with this person that's angry, and it helps them hopefully open up to move past it. So I hate maybe that I rush through these things, and I hope that y'all grab something important out of it. So it was this was a great word, Brent. Thank you, because I needed it. I needed it. So y'all, I'm running today. I pray everybody has a great week. Love y'all. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, Coach. I know you got your tennis shoes on today, running. So have a great day. And everybody, we're going to have a great week here. We'll see you back tomorrow. Love you so much. Grateful for you. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys. Great work.